Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, give me out the way, y'all. Give me out the way.
Questions?
Hey Kinsley, this is Megan Hall with USA Today. Can you tell us about the shirts you guys wore during warm-ups? Let's say, pay us what you owe us.
Yeah, I think the statement spoke for itself. I think you heard the crowd at the end of the game. And it's no disrespect to the league ever. You just want to make sure, the statement is made clear about what we as players have grown to deserve. And I think it was less about, trying to make a statement and more about we got to just make sure the statement's clear and cut.
Next question, Kelsey, to your right in the front row.
Hey, Kelsey. Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Backpacking off of that, wanted to ask you just not only about making a statement with the shirts, but seeing the fans also supporting you all.
Yeah.
And is that something that you all are looking to
Yeah.
do for the rest of the season as far as wearing the shirts and making the statement, but also like you said, making it clear?
I'll be honest with you. The meetings and the union and all that stuff, I'm a listener. I'm learning this process. I'm young in it, to say the least, when it comes to Mecca and those guys and what they do in those rooms. They make decisions to, hopefully enhance the point we want to make. And today, according to our leaders, it was to make the statement with the shirt. So I think that they do an incredible job of keeping the main thing. But I think it's important for our statement to be made clear because we as players have been through it, and we just want the respect we deserve at the end of the day. That's all.
Next question will come from the left side toward the back of the room.
WFY Public Media. Kelsey, I guess can you talk about the significance? I know you played in a couple of other All-Star games, but what does it mean to have it here in Indiana on your home court with local fans and fans across the country?
Oh, it was special. It was really, really special. You guys made it special. I think everybody played a big part in making this weekend what it was supposed to be. Shout out to the city of Indianapolis for putting a great show for everybody, and I think hopefully that the players from the W from other teams enjoyed themselves. So.
Anyone else?
Kelsey, Sabrina, good to see you both. Kelsey, this one is actually for you.
Yeah.
You've been in this league long enough to have been playing in front of much smaller crowds and a very different player experience. Are you used to it yet? Like, does this still feel new, or this is? Just take me through how you process it.
I don't, and here's why. I see a new celebrity that may have watched on TV growing up or something at the game every day now, so I'm just like, what is happening? I say that to say, like, people, want to see what women's basketball look like at the highest level, and we as the players want to be good product, and the idea is that you want people to keep flooding this place in, but I'll never get used to it ever.
Sabrina, similar question for you. It's a different reference point. You're coming in 2020, so obviously early on you're playing with no crowds at all. Does it take some getting used to still to sort of see where the league has gotten to this particular weekend? You spoke the other day about how even the crowd felt different for 3-point today as opposed to Vegas in 23.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's kind of the standard now. I think in terms of, every home arena, every away arena should be packed, and there should be fans, because I believe that entices free agents. Like, they want to go places where they're supported and appreciated and celebrated for what it is that they're doing, and they have the city behind them cheering them on as they're trying to get wins. And so I feel like it's kind of the standard, but I wouldn't say, it never gets old. It's always exciting as a player to be able to go in arenas, but also at home and know that, you're going to have the city behind you cheering you on.
Bye, guys.
This is an awkward space.
Okay,
Yeah, come here.
Doug, raise your hand.
Doug Feinberg, DAP. Kels is a member of the Executive Council. Where did the idea for the shirts come from tonight, and how important do you think they were with the game, the fans behind you at the end of the game, chanting and such?
Well, it was a very powerful moment. We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise. But the T-shirt, just United front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletail, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just, we had a very,
Not really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation light, okay? But yeah, no, I think it was just all of us getting on the same page for the game. We wanted to do something that was just united and collective, and I thought that it was a very powerful moment and got the point across. And sometimes you don't have to say anything.
Anyone else? Back right.
For either of you, I mean, this is not the first time that you guys have used shirts to sort of make a message as players. I'm thinking back to like the Brittany Griner jerseys a few years ago at the All-Star game. Just what is it about this setting, that method of, using that to communicate a message that's special for WNBA players?
I mean, it's the only time when all of your best players are kind of united and able to be in the same building, for an entire weekend and talk through what it is that, we want to do collectively. And so there's no better time than to be able to do it at the All-Star break when everyone's kind of able to come together, be in meetings, show up to CBA, talks, and be able to understand what it is that we want to do with the attention that we have this weekend.
Kelsey, I'd asked Sabrina and Kelsey Mitchell about this as well, but just, somebody who's been in this league when crowds were smaller than they are now, when the player experience is in multiple places was fundamentally different. Just what does a weekend like this mean for you, and are you used to it? Is this, Sabrina talked about as the kind of, this is the normal, this is the expected. I'm just wondering how you process this and where you are on it at this point.
It was an incredible weekend. I mean, this is my 4th time, and I thought by far it was the most packed, not just from the game standpoint, but 3-point contest, skills contest, as well as, the orange carpet was live. We had W live events. I mean, every event that I saw that a player was doing was absolutely packed. Lines wrapped around, and it was just really cool to see the fan engagement and also just see the excitement and the need for interaction with the players. And that's something that is very unique about our league. I think we're very personable with the fans, and so I really appreciate Indy for showing out. And I do think as the league continues to grow, it'll continue to just be more and more. And as players, we're excited about doing that type of work because we know that this has been building for a while. But I really do think that this is just the start of something massive.
Next question, standing to the right.
Hello. Question for Sabrina and Kelsey. How important do you think the events of this weekend, everything from the tournament, the CBA, the skills, and all the way to the game today, how important are these events for fan bases like in the Philippines who are still growing in terms of women's basketball, and kind of setting that example for them and inspiring the next generation, even for fans outside of the U.S.?
I mean, I would say it's huge. The opportunity to be able to connect and kind of be a role model, be an inspiration for so many young kids that are flying all across the world. Like I heard so many kids talking about they came from New Zealand or Australia or wherever they were coming from to watch All-Star Weekend and be able to interact with their favorite players that they normally watch on TV or social media. And I feel like the W does such a great job of players showing up and being able to be that role model because we all understand the importance and significance of it because we were once those little kids. And so I'd say, I think I'm most proud of the way that every single player makes sure to go out of their way in their busy schedule to continue to be there, whether it's at W Live or wherever it is, to continue to showcase what a great league we're in.
Next question, all the way to the back of the room in the center.
Candace Buckner, Washington Post. Question for you, Kelsey. Great moment, obviously we know, with the T-shirts, with the crowd. But after this weekend, how does the PA keep the momentum going? We all know social media things are very fleeting. So how do you keep this moment more with momentum?
It's a great question. I would say first and foremost, the mission was accomplished because we built an incredible amount of awareness this weekend. So obviously proud on that, like you said, to build. I think continuing to have our foot on the gas in our messaging, not just to the media, but to each other, and makes next steps. I mean, people, like, we're in a negotiation, just call it what it is. And so obviously you're going back and forth on both sides. And so just obviously being unified in what we want, and that's been great from day one, and so, you know, we have to wait for the league's response to us privately, and then, you know, we'll deal with it then, and we'll figure out our next move.
Next question to the right in the third row.
Hi, Rachel Axon, the Sports Business Journal. Question for Kelsey. I know you said those chants were unexpected at the end, but how much is the shirts, the comments you all made here, seeking the fan support, right? Rallying behind you for the rest of the league. Those shirts are on sale. I expect we'll see them in your arenas when you guys come back from this. How much is making clear your priorities and having that fan support part of the plan here?
You know, it's extremely important, and I appreciate you asking that because, you know, it applies pressure. And even those chants tonight, the signs, I think it just shows that, you know, obviously as players we're united, but the fans are united in what they believe that we're seeking. And that's extremely important because that pressure can put, you know, a lot of good things on the table for us. You know, and I think, like I said earlier, like I'm just gonna continue to harp on it, that awareness piece. And maybe someone that tuned in today that hasn't seen a WNBA game before or not super familiar with the climate of what's going on and where salaries are at. I know a lot of times, you know, we're gaining a ton of new fans, and it's really important to educate them on what we're asking for, why we're asking for it, where it's at now, where it could be. And so I think it's really important that, you know, the fans showed up tonight for us in many ways, and it's exciting because I know that's going to continue to happen throughout the season.
All right, we have time for one more question. It'll come from the right side standing.
I know that this game was just like a fun little showcase and stuff, but you guys have a game again in 3 days, so I guess I'm just curious about the quick turnaround from this and just how the liberty with getting JJ back and kind of carrying that momentum into second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think obviously it's fun. I think it probably would have been a little bit more competitive if teams didn't play in such a short amount of days. And I think that's something as we're talking, obviously, you know, into our CBA and understanding like all-stars don't really have a break. We finish, we get on a flight the next day, we're here, jam-packed weekend, wanting to pour into the fans, show up to events, do three-point contests, skills contests, and then play in a game and fly right back to practice and play in 3 days. And so I think that's something, obviously as players, we want to be able to come out here during this time, put on a great show for the fans, but also take care of our bodies because we don't have time. We enter now a grueling second half of the season, and teams are trying to make playoff pushes, players are trying to get back from injury. And so I think obviously that's something as players we got to continue to stand on, is maybe trying to get a few more days to where, you know, we can have a little bit more competitiveness in these games. But overall, I think it was amazing. Like I saw, you know, I think the highest score ever recorded. And so excited to be just a part of history, and excited for everyone to be able to go back, hopefully a little bit refreshed and recharged for the second half of the season.
Kelsey, Sabrina, thank you.
Thank you.